Hey there, welcome back to another video. This time, yes, it's another vlog slash DVD update. I know I've done a lot of those, but I wanted to give you guys something to chew on, so to speak, to whet your palate until I post some more reviews. And I also wanted to give you guys some explanations as to why I haven't really been posting any content on my channel for pretty much the entire week. And I have a good reason for that. I am attending classes at WCU Vancouver's campus. So I have decided to go back to college and work on my writing skills as well as maybe some other things that are associated with what I would like to do in the future, which is get better as a writer and hopefully make a living writing about film and analyzing it and being a film critic and something like that, because YouTube is just not really going to be the place where I'm going to get that done. I would love for it to be the case, but YouTube has changed so much over the years and in the completely wrong direction, in my opinion, with the adpocalypse and with the advertiser-friendly content bullshit. It's just made it extremely hard to even make a dent on YouTube, even harder than it was in the past. So what it is a hobby, and it's something I do for fun, and it's something that's kind of how I've always done it anyway. Money has always been something that's been like icing on the cake. It's never been a case of, this has never been something that I've relied upon for income or to pay bills and rent and all of that. And I've just come to the realization that I'm never really going to reach the plateaus, the heights on YouTube that I dreamed that I would, because it's just not going to happen with the current structure. And with the type of videos I make videos about obscure movies that barely nobody has heard of, or when I do other reviews, they're not condensed, they're not 5 minutes, they're not made for an ADHD audience. So I've just come to the realization that I'm not really going to be that big YouTuber. And that's okay. I'm fine with where I am. If I get any bigger than that, that's cool. That's just another bit of icing on top of the cake. I'm really appreciative of all the support I've gotten from anyone who has decided to watch my videos, old and new. And I really want to make that clear. And if I inconvenienced you guys at all by not really putting anything up this week, I apologize. School has taken a lot out of me. Not only that, I've adopted a cat, so I have to deal with him. I've let him out for this video because I can't do the video with him in the room because he'll just keep trying to jump on the chair or doing whatever. But I still love him. He's still a great cat. I'm fine if he just lays on the bed, but he's not been doing that lately. So it's something that's kind of I'm dealing with. I'm grappling with that right now. But that's definitely a first world problem. I'm definitely not stopping YouTube. I'm not going to stop making videos. That's not going to happen. The schedule's just going to be a bit different because of school and because of the homework and all the stuff that I'm working on with that. That takes priority over YouTube. And my studies take number one priority over this. I'm not going to do YouTube over school. I'm paying for my education. But I'm still going to do it. It's just there's going to be a little bit longer of a wait for in between videos and stuff like that. But hopefully it will be worth it, because I will make sure I put the same passion and energy and effort into all of my newer videos that I did in the past. There's a lot of really fun stuff coming up for you guys that I hope you guys are going to enjoy. Some more Romero reviews, some horror anthology reviews, some anime, some animation stuff, some 2017 reviews of films like Atomic Blonde and so on, some killer cat movies, just some, nice little variety. Maybe even eventually get around to revisiting the Alien franchise. And I also would love to talk about Batman the Animated Series, which in September, I believe, is going to have one of its anniversaries. So there's a lot of stuff I'd like to do, but the time's going to be a bit tighter than it has been in the past. But I will try to get done as much as I can. Now, I will just get right down to it. Show you guys some of the stuff I got. Now, I'm going to be super quick about this because I don't want to leave Olympus out too long. So, I got some VHS tapes. These are 2 titles I've been really wanting to get, and I couldn't find them anywhere online. This is of the film Nightstick, which I thought looked kind of interesting. It's kind of a vigilante kind of movie. I got Behind Enemy Lines with Robert Patrick. Those are the only VHS tapes that I got. Now I got a bunch of DVDs and Blu-rays. Got Outland on Blu-ray. Not really a bunch of Blu-rays, but just one Blu-ray for this video. Outland. I've been wanting to get this on Blu-ray for a long time because I'm a big fan of this movie. The DVD is absolute horse shit in terms of picture quality. It's just a shitty DVD, so definitely is a film that I wanted to get an upgrade. I mean, for the longest time, the Laserdisc, the full screen pan and scan Laserdisc had better picture quality than the official Warner Brothers DVD for Outland. So the Blu-ray definitely does fix all of that. These are DVDs I got from a combination of different places. A lot of them from buybacks, and a few of them from a couple other places. I got Sergeant Kabuki Man, NYPD. I got this because this actually looked like fun. For the most part, I'm not a big fan of Troma, but I want to give this a shot. I like the trailer, and I really like the theme song. Sergeant Kabuki Man, he's a hero, he's a man. So, really glad to pick this up. So, I would actually like, I don't know if I'd review that many Troma films, but whenever I get around to watching this, I will definitely review this. I don't know if that's going to be sometime soon, but it'll definitely happen sometime. I got Bad Taste, the Peter Jackson film. This is the Anchor Bay release. This is the 2-disc special edition. This is going to only go up in price, if you ask me, because of things like Peter Jackson just not wanting to release this film on Blu-ray for some reason or something. I guess there's a special feature that showed that he was kind of remastering it on some other disc for some other movie, or was that Meet the Feebles? But regardless, it just seems like Peter Jackson really wants to distance himself from his past, which is really too bad. I don't know if this will ever get a Blu-ray release, but if it does, that'd be great, along with Dead Alive. But for the time being, this is still pretty good. I popped it in my Blu-ray player, and it looked pretty solid up converted. So it's not one of those older DVD releases that doesn't look very good. I got Sleepwalkers because I want to revisit this film. I want to do a proper review of it. The last time I reviewed this, I did that after my car accident, after I got hit by a car, so it was just audio only. And I would really like to review this again. This will be part of the Killer Cat Marathon whenever that happens on the channel. I got a Treat Williams film called 36 Hours to Die. Looked interesting. I have this on VHS, but I wanted to upgrade it to a DVD. Some decent reviews, too, for it. G.I. Jane with Demi Moore. Never saw it, but I always liked the trailer, so decided to pick that up. Buybacks has been really delivering lately with their bargain bin titles. They've been having a lot of titles at my local buybacks that have been like $1 each. Now, not all of these were $1, but, I mean, Bad Taste, of course, wasn't, and neither was Sergeant Kabuki Man. But these other ones were fairly cheap. Alien Hunter with James Spader. That is not the right James Spader. James Spader is not that young in this movie. But despite some bad Photoshop, looks decent. Looks like it has some good practical effects. Gone in 60 Seconds, the director's cut with Nicolas Cage. For the Nicolas Cage collection, I'm ready to embrace the cage. James and the Giant Peach. Haven't seen this in years. I actually really like this film, so I'm really glad to get this. Dark City, the director's cut. Bunch of features on it, too. A Pierce Brosnan film I've never heard of called The Heist. Probably for good reason. He's been in a lot of these like obscure direct-to-video made-for-cable movies. The Conversation with Gene Hackman for the Gene Hackman collection. I got Black Scorpion, the Mystery Science Theater 3000 presentation. Was $1, and I'm a big fan of MST3K. So, really glad to get this. Pushing Tin with John Cusack and Billy Bob Thornton. Lake City with Sissy Spacek. A lot of good reviews. I think it might be an interesting movie, interesting thriller. Never heard of it before, but good amount of... Dave Matthews is in it, from Dave Matthews Band, as well as Rebecca Romaine. Grand Canyon, for the cast, Danny Glover, Kevin Kline, Steve Martin. Directed by Lawrence Kasdan. Maximum Conviction, one of the last Steven Seagal films I wanted to get for my collection. The other one is Marked for Death. And that's really the only other one I would really like to get for my collection of Steven Seagal films. Dark Tales of Japan was $1, and it's a horror anthology film with a bunch of Japanese directors who did some segments for a Japanese horror anthology. So that's definitely something that's right up my alley because I'm a big fan of horror anthologies. The 15th anniversary edition of Chaplin with Robert Downey Jr. It's been on my wish list for a while now. I saw the film a long time ago and really, really liked it, so I've been wanting to get this on DVD for quite a long time. Special collector's edition of a boy and his dog. This is one of those transfers that doesn't look that great, but it's because the widescreen is all smushed, but it's still all right. And I got it for $1, and it's an upgrade over my VHS. Guilty as Charged with Rod Steiger and Lauren Hutton. Crazy plot line. Really a film that I haven't seen, but I've heard of, and he's like a vigilante who's like electrocuting people. So it's like a feature film black comedy version of the Tales from the Crypt segment, The Man Who Was Death, William Sadler. Probably won't be as good as that segment, though. I love that segment. I mean, I love that episode. It's not a segment of Tales from the Crypt. It's an episode from season 1. Specials with Rob Lowe. Looks like a weird, just definitely an interesting film. That's all I really got to say about it. Interesting. The Three Musketeers and the Four Musketeers, the 70s Musketeers movies. I got it brand new at Goodwill for like super cheap. Apparently this goes for a decent price online, so that was a decent find. Far Out Man with Tommy Chong. So I like Tommy Chong. I've been trying to get into the Cheech and Chong stuff, and that was like $1, and it might have been might as well be free because the buy 3 get 1 free stuff. The Score, and because I wanted to upgrade my VHS of the film, I still got some more. I got Nell because it actually looked interesting. Like a good film to showcase the acting prowess of Jodie Foster and Liam Neeson. Ronin with Robert De Niro. I know there's a recent release coming out, I think by Arrow or some other company that's supposed to be loaded with features. Maybe it's Shout Factory. Probably Shout Factory. But I'm okay with getting the DVD. It was $1. Film called Vile. Only got it for $1, and if it sucks, hey, it's as advertised. Almost Famous. Very Bad Things. Which I've heard... The film Rough Night is just this movie meets Weekend at Bernie's. Web of Deception with Powers Booth and Pam Dawber. I got it for the cat. I like Powers Booth and Pam Dawber. I mean, it would be interesting to see these two work alongside each other. Probably a cheap TV movie, but it was $1. Flushed Away. I saw this years ago. I really enjoyed it, so glad to have that. Random Hearts with Harrison Ford. A Harrison Ford film that has pretty much been forgotten about. And I don't know if that's for good reason or not. That's why I got it. Well, I also got it because I had it on VHS and it was on my wish list. Because I wanted to upgrade it. The Green Hornet. Film I've heard of. I actually worked at the theater, I think, when this came out. Never saw it. So, for $1, sure. Interesting to see how it turned out, whether it's a train wreck or not. The Exorcism of Molly Hartley. Mainly got it because it was $1. Perfect Host with David Hyde Pierce. I like him. Liked him ever since he was in Frasier. Trish Stratus DVD was $1. I mean, and I do like her. Entrapment with Sean Connery and Catherine Zeta-Jones. That was one of those brand new DVDs that had been in a package for so long that when you take the sticker off, it's super sticky, so that's why I heard that noise. Young Frankenstein with Gene Wilder. Classic. Eden Lake, a film I've been really curious about seeing ever since I saw the trailer for it, with Michael Fassbender. Before he was famous. Out of Sight with George Clooney and Jennifer Lopez. Season 4 of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia for $1, which is a steal. And this is the one with the Nightman segment. The Nightman. I keep saying segment. Sorry. I've had horror anthologies on the brain. So that's one of the main reasons why. One of my favorite episodes of the entire series is that episode. Hilarious. I love that. This is actually something somebody sent to me. This got sent to me by a guy named Kenny. Thank you, Kenny. He sent me the Stuntman, which is really cool. I've been wanting to get this for a while. Definitely review that sometime soon. That's the plan anyway, at least this year. I guarantee, at least by the end of this year, I will have reviewed the Stuntman. Escape Plan. Saw this in the theater. I didn't mind it, so I'm actually looking forward to revisiting it and see if it really holds up or not. Although I do remember trying to watch it before a while back, and it kind of didn't work, so we'll see. Trick or Treat, sadly, still has a better not a better transfer than the German media book, but it has a much better audio, and it was $1, and I'm a big fan of this movie, so I decided why not. Jack Frost with Michael Keaton for the Michael Keaton collection. Not really the biggest fan of this movie. I think it's actually a pretty bad film for the most part. I'd rather watch the other Jack Frost movies about the mutant killer snowman, but for the Michael Keaton collection, sure. Mean Guns with some pretty mean, awful picture quality. This is like a Canadian release. I don't know if the American release is as bad as this. This looks like a VHS rip on a DVD. It's pretty fucking awful, to be honest. Alien Nation. Actually, I think this is a pretty underrated film, so I'm really glad I finally have this in DVD. 4 Rooms. Actually a pretty fun movie. Dolan's Cadillac, which I believe is Stephen King. Yeah, based on a short story by Stephen King. Mainly got that because it was cheap and for the Stephen King collection and Stephen King adaptations and stuff. And got a few more here, and then that will be it for this video. I got the adaptation of Frankenstein, which is directed by Marcus Nispel and stars Parker Posey, as well as Vincent Perez and Michael Madsen. The Friday collection that has all the Friday films, as well as All About the Benjamins. The Substitute Wife with Farrah Fawcett and Peter Weller for the Peter Weller collection. Wrong Number with Eric Roberts and Bridget Bacco. Pale Rider for the Clint Eastwood collection. Double feature of Last Lives and Virtual Obsession. Got this because it was brand new at Goodwill, and there are a few films on here that I actually did want, like Ice Cream Man and Within the Rock, to give it another watch. It's a 12 film Fright Fest pack from Mill Creek, and their typical cheap bullshit where they put the discs in these paper sleeves. Bunch of cheap asses. And speaking of that, 21 Jump Street Season 1 from Mill Creek. That's what I'm talking about. Some cheap ass bullshit. But it was only $1. So, and I like the movies a lot. So I'm curious about comparing the movies with the show and seeing which one I like better. I'm probably going to say I'm going to lean towards the movies, but we'll see. And this is the second season. I don't know how many seasons there are, but the first 2 seasons, a pretty good start. The 1978 film Blackout, which I don't believe is even on Blu-ray, so that was a pretty good find. And there is another one, I believe. There's like one other item. There's actually a couple DVDs I have that I want to grab real quick. 2 other things that I don't really have out yet. Just so I don't forget. Then I'll have to do another video and show them, and I don't really want to do that, so forgive me real quick, just moving. I will be right back. Forgive me for all that nonsense. Okay, alright. So now we have the last bits. Another Blu-ray, Star Trek First Contact. It's really the only it's really the only Star Trek Next Generation film that I really like. Because Nemesis is okay, but I'm okay with the DVD I have. But I love First Contact, so I'm really glad I found this at a pawn shop. Speaking of stuff I found at a pawn shop, I got this for $2. Special collector's edition of Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. Not the best movie in the world, but I actually want to watch this again to see if maybe it got better, or maybe I might be able to appreciate it more for what it is. And this is a nice collector's item, and it even comes with a poster. And this is, as far as I'm concerned, it's kind of pricey online. Like, nothing super expensive, but it's not necessarily cheap. It comes with this poster, Attack of the Killer Tomatoes poster, which honestly is pretty cool. I think the cover art is definitely one of the strong suits that this film has. A little slipcase thing, and it comes with the DVD by Rhino. Now, this is a film that I remember seeing this box set at like Suncoast and stuff for a decent price when I was a kid, so it's actually somewhat nostalgic. So it's actually nice to get this set. And I wasn't really thinking about getting it, but for that cheap, sure. Moon with Sam Rockwell, because I've heard a lot of good things about that one. And then these are the last ones. I got Loose Cannons with Gene Hackman and Dan Aykroyd. I got Rear Window for the film class I am attending at WCU Vancouver, because this is one we're going to watch and talk about. I got Curly Sue. I think it's the last film John Hughes directed. The Fourth Angel, because for Jeremy Irons and Forrest Whitaker. Collateral, Tom Cruise and Jamie Foxx. I got South Park, Bigger, Longer, and Uncut. And I got the complete first season of The Sopranos, which I've actually never seen the whole first season, let alone the entire series. And no, I haven't seen Breaking Bad, or I think I've seen like a couple episodes, but I haven't seen the whole series. I haven't seen The Wire. I haven't seen Game of Thrones. Actually, I haven't seen a single episode of that show. I haven't really seen a lot of these new big hip shows because I'm just surrounded by all this other stuff that stuff I've been wanting to watch for a while, or stuff that I never really got around to watching, and just sounds more interesting to me. The Walking Dead I haven't seen either, so there's a lot of stuff I can get around to watching, but there's a lot of stuff I'd rather watch instead. So anyway, though, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as always, I will see you guys later. See ya.